So we enter the second half of the season at 22-37, which isn't enough to put us in last place, but still in the bottom 5. We lose the first game to the Pacers, and at the press conference, get asked about Sanderson and the rumors flying around about his failing business ventures. Apparently, his 90s-themed cruise line, music label, and casual Mexican food chain are hemorrhaging cash, and fans are worried that the instability may scare away potential free agents. I tell them that the Hawks are more concerned with the draft. We're looking to build a young core from the ground up, and the free agents will come later. The next week, Dennis Schroeder and Coach Budenholzer bust into our office complaining about who else but Andrew Sanderson. This little bitch has been tweeting at players, talking all types of shit about their performances. I immediately call Andrew into my office, who invites me to go roller skating with him. Cutting through all the bullshit, I tell them that as the owner's son, blasting our players in public isn't the smartest thing to do. The last thing our guys need and potential draft picks and free agents want is a little trust fund baby talking shit about their games. That's what we have coaches for. He disagrees, saying that he's lighting a fire under our guys to help them win. This, compounded with the trade he pulled behind my back and all the other little skeevy shit he's done with his dad, is just too much. So I go and fire the shit out of him. He starts going nuts, asking if he knows who I'm f***ing with, and that he's going to have his dad step in. I'm done with the conversation though and tell him to leave now. But just when things seem the darkest, we get a ray of light in the form of Lewis Meyer, the former owner of the Atlanta Hawks. He asks to meet and informs us that he's currently trying to buy the team back. He's putting together a group that will be led by him and would allow an offer to be made that Sanderson would find very difficult to refuse. I tell him he's got my full, undivided support, and we both agree that this conversation doesn't leave his office. So we continue through the next week, going 23-40 before being called for a staff meeting at Sanderson's house. To everyone's dismay, Andrew is sitting right by Bob's side when we come in. Surprisingly, nothing is mentioned about his firing though, and the conversation instead moved towards clarifying our team's plans. I start by telling Sanderson that he needs to explain himself and his intentions for the team first. He asks if everyone feels this way, and when everyone agrees, he gives us some word soup using a lot of meaningless business jargon about maximizing his investments. He then turns the question back around on me, and I tell him what I've already said a bunch of times before. We're trying to get a top 3 pick in the draft. Everyone echoes my sentiments, and we close the meeting on that. Soon after we leave, I'm visited by Cameron Lee, the CFO, who was sent by Sanderson to explain exactly what he meant when he was talking about maximizing investments. I'm informed that we're increasing ticket prices by $10 across the board. I tell him that with our record and all the rumors swirling around the team, I want to go on record saying that this is a bad idea. He says that the decision has already been made and is effective immediately. He's just doing the courtesy of telling me personally so I won't be caught off guard by a reporter. So of course, the first question at the next press conference is about the price increase. With all the bullshit going on between Bob, Andrew, and myself, along with Lewis Meyer trying to buy back the team, I decided to throw Bob under the bus and tell them that I had nothing to do with the price changes and to direct all future questions toward Bob. With tensions rising, we continue on splitting the next 6 games to go 26-43. As of now, we're officially guaranteed to finish below 500, which is great news in terms of the draft. We get some more great news when John Collins is cleared to play. At this point in the season though, there's no point in rushing things back, so we start him off really slow, just giving him 12-minute time caps to start things off. After practice, Mike Budenholzer catches me in the parking lot. We get to talking and I reveal that I spoke with Lewis Meyer and he's interested in buying the team back. He's almost as pumped as I am, and we both agree to keep things on the down low until things are set in stone. So with 3 weeks left in the season, Bobin goes down with a pinched nerve in his back. We decide to officially just shut him down for the rest of the season and bump Muscala up into the starting spot. As the season winds down, we get a call from Zach Staples, the GM of the Knicks. All season, he's been trying to get Joakim Noah off of his books and offers us Frank Ntilikina if we take Noah's massive contract. It's actually a pretty decent offer, but we already have Schroeder and a great backup in McConnell, so we tell him we'll sit on it for the time being. The next 2 weeks turns out pretty good for us in terms of draft position, and we finish the season 29-53. On top of that, we get the best news we've heard all season when Lewis Meyer calls us to dinner to tell us that it's a go. I asked him to clarify, and he says that his group has put together an offer and submitted it to Bob, and that things have been agreed on in principle. All that's left is some legal paperwork. He tells me that once everything is official, my job is safe as GM, and that he's looking forward to working with me once again. We both leave the meeting in high spirits. So taking a look at the season awards, we see Russell Westbrook winning the MVP for the 2nd year in a row. Even with George and than Melo, he still managed to put up a near triple-double again with 27 points, 11 boards, and 9.5 assists. Regardless, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of his new teammates leave in the offseason. The guy seems like a nightmare to play with. Lonzo Ball bounces back from a rocky start to the season and wins Rookie of the Year ahead of Ben Simmons. He posted 13 points, 5 boards, and 9 assists while shooting a pretty average 40% from the field, but a surprising 35% from 3 with that broken-ass shot form. Good for him. Mason Plumlee wins an uninspiring 6th Man of the Year award with just under 10 points a game and 7 boards. Not much to say about him, but at least the Nuggets have something to be happy about. We see Rudy Gobert winning the Defensive Player of the Year. With Hayward and Hill gone, Gobert led the young Jazz core with 17 points and almost 13 boards a game. Although it didn't really translate into anything this season, I really like what Utah's put together, with Ricky Rubio finally allowed to fulfill his potential, and Donovan Mitchell looking like one of the diamonds of last year's draft. And finally, we have Nikola Vucevic winning the Most Improved Player award with 17 points and 10 boards a game. It looks like the source for the award goes to the added dimension of a 3-point shot to his game, with a solid 34% from behind the arc. Coach of the Year goes to Mike D'Antoni, who was able to manage the egos of Harden and Chris Paul to a successful 59-23 record. Executive of the Year goes to John Murphy of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who got together the big three of Westbrook, Melo, and George for a 55-27 record. For all NBA, we see the usual suspects Westbrook, Harden, and LeBron on first team, and the emergence of the Greek Freak and a surprising DeMarcus Cousins, who seems to be thriving alongside Anthony Davis in Louisiana. On the second team, we have one of the last times we'll probably see Chris Paul on this list, along with DeMar DeRozan, Anthony Davis, and Karl Anthony Towns. Kevin Durant is also on here, and judging by his interviews on Bill Simmons' podcast, he's probably going to be pouting about being snubbed from the first team. Dame Lillard and his teammate McCollum both make the third team together, and Kawhi sneaks in despite sitting out with the injury in the beginning of the season. The list is rounded out by George and Andre Drummond. A surprising snub on the all-NBA teams, though, is Steph Curry. The all-defensive first team sees the maturing John Wall, Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, and Gobert making the list. On the second team, we see Jimmy Butler awarded for his gritty play, in addition to a surprising Lonzo Ball, along with LeBron James, Giannis, and Drummond. The rookies' first team has Lonzo, Milos Teodosic, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and Dennis Smith Jr. I'm surprised to see Donovan Mitchell left off the list, even from the second team, with De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Josh Jackson, and Lauri Markkanen filling out the list instead.